Welcome back to Force Education. This is Zach. Today I'm going to be talking about Gevo, Gevo. I'm going to be talking a little bit as an update from my last video. If you'd like to watch it, it's in the description below. I'm going to go through technical analysis and then news and how I'll be playing the stock. Before I move forward, please make sure to drop a like to this video to help this channel grow, subscribe, and leave your notifications on. And let's jump right into it. You get to see here on the moving averages, the MACD seems to be actually still increasing, even though with the drop of the offering, still really is strong. Unbalanced volume, it is expected that there was a little bit of a drop there, but still significant high. We're talking about a stock that is still maintaining above 100% profit from where it had on Wednesday. Now, the stock has dropped below the 200 SMA, which is considered there bearish, but here's the good news. Even with an offering, the 10 SMA has managed to climb above the 30 EMA, and that is a really good sign, and that's a bullish sign. The stock price is still above the 50 SMA, which is as well bullish. The ADX shows in a very strong indication that a trend could be forming soon, and a willing percent R puts it at a neutral level. Now, this could be considered perhaps a healthy pullback, but I'm going to mention exactly what I think about the stock personally later on in the video. Now, the stock is below the trading action zone between the 10 SMA and the 30 EMA. What you get to see here is that the stock is also under the VWAP, but still 10 SMA is above the 30 EMA, and the stock price is above both the 50 SMA and the 200 SMA. So it's still considered bullish, but it might actually turn bearish there with the 30 EMA poking on the 10 SMA. The MACD here shows perhaps a possible recovery just in the last hour off the extended market, but it looks like it might actually continue to bleed just a little bit more in towards Monday. Now, on the ADX, it has dipped down from the higher 60s, and so it doesn't tell us much, but willing percent R puts it on oversold. Now, when we're talking here about moving averages, the moving average band here doesn't show any significance as the price has rallied on for quite a bit. Now, on Fibonacci retracements here, we're going to take a quick look, and we're going to put in 0.51. You can see the support is sitting at 116, resistance at 136, and another at 156. Now, below that 116 support, a Fibonacci one sits at 0.91, but you get to see a really strong support of 0.61. So that's almost 50% drop over there. So there is, I would say, 100% up, an upside for this company, or 50% down. So you can either double your money or half your money in kind of risk versus reward assessment. So now we're going on through what the company has to offer for us. And we get to see here, so one of the things, an offering. This one is closing on the 25th. So it's not far off. That's just right about the corner next week. It's sitting in, the offering was around 130 per share. And so we're talking about 130 per share closing on Tuesday. As you remember, the current price is 121. It's just slightly below the offering price. Now, one of the biggest things that has got this company to rally on with an insane rally was the really impressive 1.5 billion in long-term revenue, and this is the biggest in the company's history. And here's what they had to say. This is our largest single contract to date. It brings Gevo over to over 1.5 of revenue in long-term contracts when added to the other contracts we have in place. As drop in fuels, Gevo renewable very high octane gasoline and SAF are a perfect fit, and basically goes on to a little bit of an insight to their other person on the contract, the other corporation on the contract. So before we move forward as well, you do have a delisting notice for non-compliance, but so far they're on day 2 of compliance, so they need 8 more days to reach there. They're on track, and they have a lot of time. They have until February 8th, 2021. Now, on their 10K, it seems that there is an increase there in terms of profits, or a decrease in net loss per se. And it did go from 0.60 to 0.40. When we're talking about just net values, they're talking about 7 million compared to 6 million. So there is growth there, and that is really nice to see. Corporate overview, basically a little bit of an idea in terms of how this company really moves forward. They consider this phase to be the growth phase after they've already achieved technology and the market development phase. A bit of different things that they actually do hold, for instance, is geofuel, and a lot of different things I'm going to go on in a sec here. So we get to see, we're going to go back, carbon neutral fuel, biofuels here, and then they have the isooctane, ethanol, isobutyl, animal feed and protein, different kind of products they have there. Now, in terms of their returns on investments, it does seem that they have a bit of different plans. For instance, contracted demands provides flexibility timing with the first production initial expansion as early as 2023 or late as 2024 for the expansions to meet growing and contracted renewable fuels demand. I do expect that that should be expedited, so there might be PR coming in on there, for instance, after the 1.5 billion. So it might that they've hit that expectation ahead of time, which is amazing to hear for a company, especially for stockholders. Now, the one thing that is not amazing that they did was the offering that they slapped it on that really destroyed the momentum. As you get to see, it went from 180 to 220 in the extended market before it was slapped by an offering. So that is a definite thing that hurt a lot of people. Going on as well to how I play the stock. Now, this stock here is going on towards compliance, and that is a good news. I did play the stock, but I don't have any current open positions, so it did me well for the time being. But how would I play the stock? I do want to see it hold a really good support above $1. I'm not talking about much. I'm talking about helping it maintain compliance for at least 8 more days. When would I consider selling? And do I see this price? Do I see the stock rallying up to around $2? It definitely has a chance to rally above $2. And you get to see that on the moving averages. Now, that kind of momentum that might have been lost due to an offering is a little bit painful to see. Now, as an investor, would I consider holding this one for a little bit longer? The answer to that is I probably would want to half my position or leave the profits in to see, if it does go back to $2, well, amazing. If it does dip because, this was more of buy the rumor, sell the news, then you're not there lost with much, just on lost in profit. Now, I myself, I'm the kind of person that sees this one here, for instance, as 100% rewards, 50% risk. That's a lot for me. But if you have a high risk tolerance, I would say probably hold this one through Monday. And then consider perhaps selling on Tuesday if you start seeing the price drop. A stop limit is really smart for this one here because it is still a bull rally. And you don't want to be caught on something like a red dip like this one here that was seen down for quite a low. This one here that went down from 137 all the way to 120. So that is kind of what kind of my expectations would be for the stock. What do you think about the sticker? Make sure you mention down in the comments below. Share, subscribe, and like, and you have a wonderful day.